What up, people? We are back, Rewired episode 13. This is a pop-up live. I didn't tell you guys that I was going to do this, but I'm excited to be back. I was in Guatemala for 6 weeks, and the Wi-Fi was terrible. Now I'm back in St. Pete. I'm at a different place, and I'm actually just testing to see how good the Wi-Fi is, so I think it's going to be good. Got my buddy Carter Grooms coming on. Carter is crushing it. Great sales guy, was in the home improvement space doing sales himself for a paint company for a while. Now he works for a company called Search, Click, Grow, which helps contractors stop guessing, start growing, which is kind of the goal. And full service digital marketing agency built exclusively for contractors. So we'll get into all that stuff. First, we'll talk about Carter, how he rewired himself, his own kind of mental journey, and then we kind of get into some of that stuff. If you guys have questions in the meantime, you can put them in the comments. Built school community, we are chugging along on that. So the mission, build from peace instead of pressure. How do you build your life from peace instead of pressure? How do you have those tools? Because I was there for 3 years, stressed out of my freaking skull, hating my life. Didn't even want to be an entrepreneur. And now the business is bigger than it's been, but I've never had more internal peace because I did the inner work. I call the inner work. So we got to do the inner work no matter what. Without further ado, Mr. Carter Grooms.
Hello.
What's up, bro?
Oh, happy Sunday. It's a good day.
It is a good day. Good day for live. Weekend's a good day. People are probably at church right now, actually. So
yeah,
you'll see the
potentially.
Cool.
Awesome.
What's going on with you? Tell me, catch you up to speed on Carter Grooms' internal journey. I'm sure that's a whole book, but
it's something that's always forever continuing on. But same thing, I've went through those trials and tribulations of ups and downs, very stressed. One of mine was when I got into a leadership role and, building up a sales team. It took a lot out of me because I thought I'd just be selling a lot and teaching how to sell, but it ended up turning into, a lot of rehiring, babysitting, and then figuring out I hired some of the wrong people, then have to go back to the drawing board. So it's just a lot more than I think. I think that kind of goes for anyone though, when they're starting a business or getting into something. It's a lot of figuring it out as you go.
So that experience, so you start out wholesaling actually.
Yep, definitely.
Talk about wholesaling though, and what the transition. How was wholesaling though, kind of internally? That experience, was it just freaking chaotic as hell, or?
I mean, it was good. I liked it a lot because I thrive in a lot of chaos. If the day gets boring, I get bored and I'll just sit around. So I can't do that. I have to always be doing something. But wholesaling definitely taught me a lot. I mean, that's what got me into the home improvement space in general, because at the end of wholesaling, I did a few fix and flips and, hiring some contractors, getting presentations, having people come in and out of the house. I was like, this side of the business is pretty interesting. When you start, for instance, I did it in a market that I'm not from or know people. So down here in Florida, I just had to get on Google, type in painter near me, electrician near me, plumber near me. And that's how I met contractors. So that transition, I think it happened for the better. I liked wholesaling a lot, but a few things just slipped up at the end with the market, with a few fix and flips we had going on. And that's when I realized, I'm like, hey, I really got to step back and get into a sales job again. But I really liked that side of the home improvement because, you come in, you do your work and you get paid and you go on. With the flippers got to sit there and they got hard money loans. They got to wait for the house to sell. They're dealing with realtors, clients, so much more. But yeah, that's kind of what led me right into, home remodel and home improvement sales, was wholesaling in general, though. I've always loved residential houses. I kind of know now anything to do with a residential house. Wouldn't consider myself a commercial expert. Some of our guys do a lot of commercial work that we work with now, but residential is definitely where I thrive and what I know best.
Love it. So you have a lot of experience in the home improvement space. I want to really dial into, like, I'm gonna hammer you here. All right.
All right.
So we're getting a little deep here for it, but it's okay. You're ready for it. I want to talk about the difference, like when you were operating in the wholesale business, or even as you went into this other position. What are the biggest things you battled with internally? Like, internally, whether it's like stress, overthinking, belief systems, and what have you done to put yourself in a better position now?
So it was definitely some overthinking with wholesaling. And a lot of always you're kind of in when wholesaling, there's a lot of moving parts always. And a lot of times you're not in control anymore because you're kind of
Mhm.
stuck in the middle. Title could slow down, buyer could slow down, hard money could have not approved the buyer the day before closing. Like there's so many factors. And I think I let that get to me too much. Like if I just would have let it go, closed my contracts, gave them to Dispo, let the deals get sold. Like if I would have simplified it like I've done with my life in the last 2 years, I would have had a lot more success. Like I think I was so tied up in when's this going to close? Why didn't they get the money for this? Why isn't this going at this rate? Why is the contractor not done at this house? Like rather than just letting it happen, because everyone in a big business has those same things happening. And I think, age had to do with it a little bit, being younger and now like getting into more like I wasn't really tapped into my brain at all back then. It was kind of just like hustle. Like that was really my whole wholesale company and experience was just built on hustle and like grinding. I didn't really have much mental clarity because I was just in chaos all day long. I think that was one of the best ways to explain it. And we did have like the good months where you're like, everything's going a little too perfect right now. Something's going to happen here soon.
Yep.
So
The
that
body's
was
used to that stress.
yeah, exactly. And I had to learn how to like detach myself from that. And like the way I break down my days now are very simple. Like I need to eat, I need to go to the gym, I need to take care of my dogs, spend time with my girlfriend, and do my job. I have 5 things I have to do every day. That's it. And
Mhm.
as long as I do those 5, there's not a stress in my body. There's no anxiety because like anxiety comes from what you know you need to do,
Mhm.
but you're kind of pushing it off a lot. So yeah, that's really helped me a lot. And wholesaling was kind of like, you wake up and you're like, what's going to happen today? Like now I know for the next 2 weeks what's going to happen every day. Like I might
Mhm.
get someone on my calendar random here and there, but like my next 2 weeks are planned out and it's very
Yeah.
simple, very smooth, it's not easy, but like I put in the work to figure out how to do this and how to simplify my weeks and stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I think that's an really important point you're bringing up there is, detaching from the outcome. It does cause a lot of stress and anxiety.
Mm,
We're trying to control something that's uncontrollable. So naturally, that creates a lot of stress. There's an interesting term called cognitive diffusion in psychology from ACT therapy. Stephen Hayes did a lot of research on this, but it is changing your relationship to thought.
mhm.
Basically, understanding that you are not your thoughts. So you're the one who observes your thoughts. So as your thoughts, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Da, da, da. When you are fused with your thoughts, it's like you're in the middle of a tornado. You have no control, right? Your
So
brain is
true.
designed to think thoughts. So it's not about reframing. Yeah, you are not your brain, right? It's not about reframing that. Your mind's always going to think thoughts. We have to step out of that freaking blender and
Yep.
just observe the thought and let it go. Because what happens? We have a thought 8 a.m. Oh my god, is that deal going to go through? Is this? Da, da, da? And we keep our awareness stuck on those thoughts. It puts us into a dysregulated, anxious state, and we're hanging on to that thought for all day long, six
Oh yeah.
hours, 5 hours, when we could have just literally let it go in return to
100%.
what we needed to do. So I think wholesaling puts you in that position. Entrepreneurship in general, there's so much uncertainty puts us into that position. But yeah, I think developing that skill is huge.
Yeah, and like I wish I would have had it then. And I have these thoughts sometimes now. I'm like, if I would have known some of the stuff then, maybe things would be different. But I think I was put through those things to be here.
Yeah.
Like I don't mainly truly believe that that was intended for me to do forever was like the wholesaling and even like the company I ended up going to after. So I
Yeah.
look at them all as lessons now, and I think like I don't know, all the because you read a lot of these books and you watch a lot of these videos, and like, me and you have both done thousands of courses and, paid for mentorship, all this stuff. And like for a few years, I was kind of betting against myself. I'm like, why is none of this working? And then
Hmm.
I felt it all click in the last year. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, all those years of this training and watching and all this stuff, like, I can feel it working now. Like, it's so
Hmm.
weird how to explain it. But like, you go through a year or two, I guess it happens anytime when you first decide to change. Like if you decide to change, and this could be like physically, religiously, like you know, however you feel, you go through something harder first. It's like a stock chart goes up and then it slams you right down just
Mhm.
to go back up higher. So I had to get good at realizing those situations too. You know, like, hey, I'm in one of these situations. This is happening because of this, and this is just going to get me to this next point. So,
Yeah, I think part of it too is that you need the experience to be able to apply the information to.
yes.
Because if you just go read those courses, fundamentally it makes sense, but you don't really get it at your core until you've suffered and you've gone against what these things have told you. And then you go back to the material and you're like, oh, this is what they were saying right there. This
Yep.
is what that means. I actually experienced that. I totally get that now. And I think that's when we change.
So true. And I that's what I meant earlier too. Like when I'm like, I think I had to go through that, like the wholesaling stuff, and then like, you know, some good ups too, because we had a very successful year for a long time, and
Mhm.
then like, you know, some bad downs after that. So I completely agree. I think if I just would have read it in a book, it just wouldn't have done that real life experience. And that's a good point too, because I talk to a lot of friends that like maybe friends I grew up with or something that we don't talk as much anymore, but we'll catch up. We'll catch up for like an hour on the phone. So
Mhm.
a lot of them, like they got out of high school or college and they've only worked like one normal job in one position. And like I'll start talking to them about stuff like, how do you know that? Or like, how have you like, how do you know that's the way? Or how do you know that like to not do that? Like all these things. I'm like, dude, just going through 35 different things and trying stuff.
Mhm.
And like, I guess a lot of what I'm referring to is like lead generation, marketing channels, different types of sales, like what to do, what not to do, how to hire VAs. Like,
Mhm.
I think people who just go get a job out of college, they never get those skills or figure out like, I'm sure you've been burnt by a VA company before, you know, hiring someone that
Mhm.
was working for 5 other companies. So it's common, and the best way to do it is just to go through it. I really believe that.
It's okay. You got to be in the mud to get out the mud. Like it's like one thing to know go into the mud, but a lot of times you don't realize you're in the mud. Like you
Mhm.
read a book about, oh yeah, like when you get stuck in the mud, this is what you have to do to get out. Oh yeah, that makes sense. But to,
Yeah.
to yourself, you're like, oh, but I'm not really there. But it's until you realize, like, oh shit, I'm in the mud. I'm neck deep. I got to get out the mud.
Yeah.
And that's when you go back to the books and you start doing the work. So I think
Completely agree.
life's a beautiful thing in that sense. It gives you that perspective. It's really so much growth in that. Because I look at my journey, I would not even be doing Built for Impact now. And all the people that have already been helping and the impact that it's having and you're having is like we wouldn't even be able to do this. I would have been able to do this if I didn't suffer. If I didn't go through those 3 years of entrepreneurship that was absolutely miserable. So it's like
Mhm.
I needed to do that to get that perspective so that I could connect and relate to people so that we can now help. And that's really the beauty of life. And it's like nothing is either good or bad. We just make it so at the end of the day. All of life just is. It just is. I think a lot of our suffering though does come from, again, cognitive fusion, which is,
Mhm.
fusing with our thoughts, understanding like, oh, I am anxious. Like the thought I am anxious, shifting that to, oh, I'm noticing the thought that I'm anxious. That helps you regain control in your life. What is the
100%.
feeling of anxiety? Understanding you're separate from the feeling of anxiety. So you're going into a sales call, you're going to make a presentation, you're doing a thing, you're going to feel anxiety. That's normal, right? Our
Yep.
body is designed to keep us in the familiar. So as we approach unfamiliar situations, it's a natural reaction to the body. So like letting ourselves know, like, oh, that's a normal feeling. Like your mind is crystal clear. You feel the anxiety, but you're comfortable with it, right? It's
Yep.
basically you've reframed what that feeling means instead of it meaning that you're not capable and you can't do it. And what if I'm not ready? It's, oh yeah, that's just what happens. And then
Right.
the second you get into it, it goes away.
Yeah, no, it's a great you gotta kinda reframe yourself too, like, that's how you have to walk through these, and I feel like using the word anxious is so much better than anxiety because, like, everyone gets anxious, so therefore
Yeah.
everyone's got a little anxiety, you know, like, I don't know, before you go try something new or I mean, say you're about to go, like, bungee jumping for the first time, everyone's gonna have a little bit of anxiousness when they're
Yeah.
looking over that ledge about to jump down, like, it's just
Yeah.
but yeah, knowing, okay, I am anxious, that's okay, this is gonna go away is very, very good. Like,
And even a reframe on that is, you know, I am having anxiety versus I am anxious. That helps. What helps
yes.
even more, I think, is, oh, I'm feeling anxiety.
Yep.
I'm experiencing this energy of anxiety or this feeling of anxiety. It allows you to separate from it even further. Because a lot of times, everything flows downstream of our identity. So if you're saying I am blank, it's like we're almost identifying with a thing, which makes it harder to separate ourselves from it.
Yep.
So there's different levels to it, but I've noticed with myself, and in a lot of the research I've done with this is like that simple verbal switch from I am stressed, I am anxious, I am this, I am that, to I am noticing XYZ really helps create that distance. But even the frame you said helps too. So anything you can do to really separate yourself and not get overcome by it. Because I think that's what happens. We get overwhelmed by anxiety, and then we're just in a panic attack. We're lost. We have no control. It's like the wheel is just spinning out of control. Like we got to catch that thing.
Yep. And a lot of times people get into, because I've done this, like, oh, why do I feel this way? It's only me. It's only me. When in reality, it's human and it's everyone. Like everyone's feeling that somehow.
100%. That's the other thing too, is like, I was doing a lot of research actually on self-compassion versus self-blame. And people who forgive themselves easier are actually much more likely to be persistent and accomplish what they want to accomplish versus people who shame themselves. Oh, you idiot. Why were you like this? Da, 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 blah, 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 blah. That negative self-talk literally puts you into a negative physiology and makes it harder for you to accomplish your goals. So you got to love yourself.
Yeah, no, that's huge.
Love. You got to love on yourself first.
Yeah. I mean, I went to a seminar a few weeks ago, and that was the biggest impact. Like telling, business owners, you got to go into your team and change this, this, and that first, but you better not do that until you change yourself first.
Yeah.
Like you have to change yourself first in order to lead, and like people want to look up to you and listen to you and do what you say and everything like that. So yeah, got to love yourself for sure.
Oscar, is that what it's called? Executive functional paralysis. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, too, because you talk about our brains, right? That the prefrontal cortex in our brains, like the CEO of our life, that's where we think, and it makes us the creators that we are. It allows us to build and have a consciousness and awareness. And a lot of times when those thoughts come in, we use that awareness to just shine our spotlight on it, right? And we get dysregulated. It's like we're caught in this tornado of like looking at all of our thoughts.
Yeah.
And our awareness is like a spotlight. And we can choose to put that spotlight on negative thoughts, negative emotions, which is going to create more of the same, right? Where our attention goes, our energy flows. So if our attention is going on those things, we're just getting that energy back. Whereas it's just taking the spotlight off and just refocusing on what we're doing. But every time we do that, we're strengthening the prefrontal cortex. And they, all the studies on meditators, they talk about meditators, they have the greatest ability to regulate themselves. Why?
Yeah.
Because they have such strong prefrontal cortexes, because when you're meditating, what we're doing is, okay, focus on the breath, right? And then, you're lost in a thought. And then what do? Oh, I'm lost in a thought. Let me return to the breath. That's your awareness. Every time you do that, right, we are strengthening that.
Training it. It's like doing curls. You're just training the muscle
for the mind, bro.
Yep.
Then you start doing it in real life. Right. That's what the purpose, in my opinion, meditation is. You start, but then you start doing it in real life, because then you're in a situation that matters. You're under pressure. You're doing a presentation. You're on a sales call, and you are noticing that thought. Oh my God, what if I F the sale up? Oh my God. Yeah. Right. Because then you notice it and you let it go. If we don't notice it and let it go, what does that turn into? Oh, what if F up the sale? Then I'm going to go on a PIP next week. If I go on a PIP, then I'm going to get fired. If I get fired, my wife's going to divorce me. Like that's what the thoughts that we have. And
start scrambling. Yeah, and those thoughts can get really deep too. I mean, they can go deep they can go very, very deep. Like what you said. Okay, if I don't do this, then this happens. Or then if I don't do that, then that happens. Mental health management. Do you have a comment on that?
I think it's a good point from Oscar. For men especially, I think that mental health management and business management should go hand in hand.
Yeah. And that's why it's good to be in communities too, like this. Like, I mean, Jake, you travel a lot and you're down here in Florida and stuff, like away from your family a lot and, bouncing back and forth. And it's like having a community like this is so good for, this is like, of course, all this is for women as well, but in fact, for men to like just have other people to listen to and lean on definitely helps a lot, especially like when you're traveling or you move away. That's one good thing about the internet and social media. I mean, use it for the right thing and like you can build a true community. And I think that's what you're doing over here, which is really good.
I think it's huge, bro. I think to Oscar's point too, it's like normalizing it for men specifically. Because I think women are maybe more easy to talk about their feelings and stuff. But for men,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
true.
oh, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm just going to put in more reps, bro. You know? So it's like, all right, you can do that, but you're going to continue to be miserable. So you can still be masculine and deal with these internal things, right?
Just avoid the recipe of burnout is like a big thing.
I think a lot of burnout comes too from how we view success, though, right? When you are constantly chasing outcomes and success to fill an internal void because you don't feel enough as a human being, nothing's ever enough. You just burn yourself out. You have to understand that you are already enough, right? And you are just doing this because you want to. And I was also studying, I've doing a lot of study this weekend actually, and just in general, but on motivation theory. This is very interesting. On motivation theory, it is a more sustainable motivator long-term and more productive for someone to be motivated by their values versus being motivated by either reward or fear. So being motivated by your values, and it's an intrinsic sense of who you are and what you're here to do, that purpose is a stronger motivator for persistence, longevity, and actually getting things done versus fear and reward.
And what do you think a good example would be if that's like give to like say you have an employee, you know, and you want to show them that they're valuable?
To show them that they're valuable?
Yeah, or get to try to give them that feeling, you know, like because of course you could walk up and hand someone like a $3,000 bonus, like, but
yeah.
Like one thing when I used to interview sales reps a lot, I would ask them if I could pay you in something different that's not money, what would that be? And
what would they say?
We get interested in different types of answers. You know, health was always one. Never have to worry about like the stress of food or a home over their head, like which I can kind of tie into it. But you know, it's interesting to hear people's different perspectives on like what is valuable to them the most too. I mean, I think health, of course, is up there at the top, but I don't know. I think like I used to just even giving people like a call on the weekend or a text and let them know like how valuable they are to the team. I couldn't do it without you. That's going to get guys to stay with you for a long time rather than just say you send them $100 every weekend or something. Like that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's an important point. The distinction I'm making is between why we do what we do. Do we do it because like in this society, we are taught, we're born, we're not enough. We got to go build ourselves up. I got to go get A's in school. I got to go to the best college. I got to get the best career. I got to go buy all these things. I have to have a status. I need to be a business owner. I need to make this amount of money. Why? Because you're inherently not enough as you are right now. You have to go build yourself up in this external world. And when you live life like that, and you're constantly chasing this thing to build yourself up, you are fundamentally telling yourself that you are not enough right now. You're not good enough as a human being. And that creates a lot of stress and anxiety and pressure on us to live our lives. As long as we're chasing that external thing to try to build ourselves up, it creates pressure and stress and anxiety in our lives. So for our employees, like, why are we doing this job? Are you doing it because you want to get to manager and director so that your family looks at you differently? So you can make a lot of money so you can drive the car and do the thing? Are you doing it because you genuinely like the work? Because you want to put good quality work forward? Because you genuinely want to talk to sellers and actually help them out? If that's your motivator, you are going to be so much more successful long-term because you're actually going to want to get on every call. And you could have already made $500,000. You don't even care because you're there for the process, you know? So I think it's that distinction. I say that first way is compensatory success. So it's like you are constantly trying to compensate for an internal lack by everything that you're doing versus an expressive model of success, meaning you're doing it because you like it, because it aligns with your values, and it's how you want to contribute to the world. Right? Which I think is much more, obviously it can be both, but you want the main reason is that expressive success. So I think with you now, you're probably in that place more than you ever have been. Obviously you want to make a lot of money, you want to be abundant, and that's great. The main reason you're here is because you're passionate about it. You like what you are doing, right?
Yeah.
And the money is just really a cherry on top. It's like great that you can get paid to do this.
Yep. No, it's a really good point. And that's one thing we, coach and teach a lot with the contractors we work with is, one thing that helped me sell so well in in-home sales and why I was so successful at it was I was truly in it for the customer. I felt like if they didn't go with us, and this is a true feeling I had because this happened to me when I did some fix and flips. I got burned by a couple of contractors. I got screwed out of money. I got work that wasn't finished, like all sorts of stuff. I felt if they didn't go with us, that the next contractor that stepped in that door was going to steal their deposit, not finish the job, or not do it correctly. So, of course, in the contracting space, you have to make sure you do the good work. So we had that dialed in. We had the good labor. We had the good reviews. We had a 4.9 on Google. Like all of those things were there already. So now I had this confidence that it's basically us or no other way. Like their place is going to burn down, but that's because I cared about the client so much. I knew I had a duty to do to get them to sign up with us because the next person could screw them over. I'm in so many contracting Facebook groups. I see it every day. People arrested, people stole deposits. So
It's crazy.
it's crazy. And it happens, Florida, Texas, all over. And I have a few clients that don't like to try to close on spot because they think it feels pushy. And I'm like, no, that's the wrong mindset. It's not pushy. You're saving them. If you don't try to close on spot and the next guy does, who's the bad contractor, now they could be getting screwed over, and they could be, some of these projects could put people in trouble for the next 1 to 2 years on their house, or larger projects that don't get finished correctly or don't get applied correctly or don't get done correctly. So I teach them that like you have a duty to close on spot, not because we want to like close money, like and get that authority. It's like, no, like you have a good, you started this business to help people. So you have to let them know that when you're there too. So I think that's super important. That's what helped me sell so much. That's why I ask so many questions when I'm selling. I mean, I always say selling is not telling, selling is asking questions, because you got to direct them to what works. And like a quick side tangent, but an example of that is like, a guy could walk in a Ferrari dealership and the car salesman runs up to him. He's like, "Oh, I see you looking at this red Ferrari." He's like, "Man, this thing's so fast. Like it rips all these turns. You're going to put the top down. All the girls are going to like you and stuff." And the client looks at him and says, "Man, I wanted a car for my daughter." And if this dude would have asked questions correctly, he could have said, "Oh, Ferrari has this safety feature spec, so your daughter can't go over 70 miles an hour, top rated in a car accident, this XYZ." Like it's just selling in that right direction. And I think that's huge. And like for home improvement, a lot of that is, are you going to be in this house forever? Or are you selling this house in 30 days? Like, then, what does this matter to you? Have you hired a contractor in the past? How was your experience? Like all these things. I call it a full circle. I ask them all these questions. So at the end, I present them an offer, and I'm basically saying, this is what you told me you wanted. Like, because I asked all the right questions. So I'm giving them what they want. If I just, of course, like for a roofer, so say you got to a roofing quote, they need a new roof, right? You don't just walk up to the door and say, "Here's your new roof price." No, you get up, you do an inspection, you ask questions, you do all the things. We call it the prescription method or the doctor method. When you walk in a doctor's office, they hand you a clipboard. You fill out all these questions. You tell them what's going on. Say you're at a foot doctor. They know something's wrong with your foot. They have all your information. And then as soon as you walk in that doctor's office, the doctor always says, "So tell me what's going on." Like they know everything. It's all right there. But if they just prescribe you something, "Oh, you're sad. Here's some depression medicine. Oh, your foot hurts. Here's some," I don't even know what people take, pain pills, I guess. Like that's just not how you sell. And I think a lot of people get that. They get lost in the specs, "Oh, we're the best. We do this. We hire our guys this way. We use these products." But people do not care at all. Like they don't care at all. All they care about is how they feel when they buy and when the job's done. So, but yeah, selling in the right direction is huge. Asking the right questions. It's just like the doctor example is great. Like obviously everyone goes to the doctor. They know what they kind of are there for, but hey, maybe your foot hurts because you have a bad knee and you're overweight. Like the effects could trickle down from the top. It's not just your foot hurting. Like let's fix the problems that are making it hurt and go from there. But you can never do that without asking questions. So I think that's super important to care about your client and how to it's all the same too. I mean, I feel like in any industry is getting a lead in, impressing and satisfying the lead, getting them to like and trust you, and then fulfilling the lead. Like for instance, in painting, that would be like having the painters do the actual job. So Pretty much the same all around. Same in doctors' offices, same on a car lot, same in wholesale, like everything. I feel like, and but you got to ask those questions. And the game's changed. You know, it's not the '90s anymore where you just tell them what they're buying. Like everyone's emotional, so you got to like do this in front of everyone you get in front of. You got to step back a little bit. So I just think that stuff's important.
Yeah, one thing we do in our wholesale business, which is like, and I practice this, it's from the Sandler book. It's, we call it pendulum theory, but you always want to always be a click behind the seller in excitement. Never be more excited than the seller. You're always a little less excited than they are. So they might be like, if they're completely negative, I don't even want this program, all this stuff. Yeah, this is definitely not the program for you. Like, is it even worth us being on the call right now? Like, I'm going to pull back even more. Well, it is. I just don't want you to waste my time and da-da-da. So then they start to work towards the sale, right? And even if they are, hesitating, right? It's like they're right at the sale, they're hesitating. The natural inclination for us to be like, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be quick. It's going to be good for you. I promise you all this stuff. You're trying to convince and drag them across the close instead of backing up a little bit. They're hesitating. Well, I don't know if it's the right fit for me. Well, I don't know. Is it? Like, is it? Like, this is what we've gone over, right? These are the things. Like, do you think it's the best fit for you? Well, yeah, I do think it's the best fit. Okay, awesome. What are the next steps? Well, let's go forward with it. Okay, great. Right. Yep. So that's the whole Sandler approach, is like letting the seller close themselves and being that consultant. And people just want to be heard too, right?
Oh,
Pace always had an example too. Like, it's just like really digging into their problem, Like Pace, like you go into to get your car fixed at the car dealership, and the guy starts talking about, oh, you like the Patriots? Yeah, great game last night from the Patriots, all this stuff. Like, dude, I don't give a shit about the Patriots.
Yeah. And everyone knows that's fake now. Like, everyone knows too much. Like, same old, how's your day going? Like, dude, if I told you I had the worst day ever, what are you going to do about it? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's but yeah, dude, that's super important. And like, I like how you staying like a little less excited. They always need to be a little bit more excited to you. And then, like what you said, you got to you wouldn't believe how many people have the sale. They're right here. They have the sale, and they talk themselves out of the sale. They just keep rambling and keep going when they should have just shut up and listened. You already got the commitment. That's it. Step back.
Let it breathe,
Yeah. I mean, and the way we teach people a lot how to be heard is like, all right, so say I came out to someone's house for a painting quote. I had Mrs. Jones walk around the house with me. I asked all the proper questions. And then she goes back inside, and I go back out to like do my inspections and like build out my measurements and stuff like that. If I come in and I show her the 5 things that she mentioned while we were outside, she's going to know she was heard. Oh, you said we want to be careful around the lanai screen. I made a note right here for that for the painters. Oh, that extra crack by the window. You see how I circled that right here? So our guys will know right when they get out here. Like, when you reinforce what they said, they know they're heard. And that's mainly all people care about. Like, so the guy I work with named Micah, really, really good dude. He's been in sales and marketing for over 20 years. And he has this, I don't know what you'd call it, a saying, I guess. We call it FBI. And it's features, benefit, impact. And rookie salespeople sell on features. And a car is an easy example again. So like, say you come in and I'm like, hey, Jake, you're going to love this Mustang. It's got a 5.0 engine in it. It's got Brembo brakes. It's got a Bose sound system, and it's a convertible. Those are the features, right? Now, the benefits of that, the 5.0 engine, it's fast. Brembo brakes, stops on a dime. Bose system, music sounds good. Convertible, looks cool, I guess. And those are the benefits of the features. But none of that really matters. What matters is the impact. It's how they feel when they drive away in the car. None of the things in between ever matter. And like for home improvement a lot, what I used to say, like people used to be like, oh, we got the best painters, the best sprayers. We use Sherwin-Williams, XYZ product, this, that. They don't care at all. All they care about is when they pull in that driveway and see their home and how it makes them feel. That's what like the FBI method is: features, benefits.
Yeah, impact. It's like they, finally on Thanksgiving, their whole family comes over and doesn't see this freaking faded exterior, yep. See this beautiful house. Like, that's like, oh shit, that's what makes them buy it. Like, exactly. What is your family going to think now when they come over on Thanksgiving? Like, if that was something they had brought up, or maybe they always have family gatherings and they're just kind of ashamed of the house.
Yep. 100%. I mean, they're not going to say, oh, they use this tech, the sunproof XYZ, Rhino shield.
The family. Family's like,
Yeah.
no way, really? That is freaking incredible.
But yeah, I think that's huge, and it kind of ties into what you were saying. You got to always just be in it for the customer, asking the right questions to offer them what they need too. I mean, we used to tell people we might be able to help you, we might not be able to help you. I don't know yet. We got to do some questions here.
Really just treating people how people want to be treated. Like
Yep.
actually giving a damn, not just rushing to the sale.
Mhm.
It really is like the diagnosis, the doctor method. It's like, what's wrong with you? Where's the pain? Let's make
Yep.
it hurt really bad, and then I'm gonna give you the solution to it.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to study. I'm sure you could get on Claude or Facebook. Even there's some books on like the prescription method. Like, that's one of our main frames in how we teach sales and stuff to the clients we work with a lot.
Is that the prescription
Yeah, I
method?
mean,
Yeah,
prescription method.
leading with questions.
Yep.
Leading with questions, and caring about the person and really figuring out what their problem is, tying your solution to the problem, and maybe even kind of painting the vision of how this problem is solved in the future, like the impact it's going to have on them. Also the negative impacts of not taking action.
Yeah.
Well,
of course. I mean, you could tie any examples into that. Oh, like for Florida, for instance, for, painting a house. So I guess I could go real deep, but like they may think the house needs painted in 6 months, but I find a crack in the home and I'm like, if you don't get this filled with this storm coming up, you will have water on the inside of your home. So it's like, they may think they don't want it painted for 6 months, but they actually need it in the next month. And same with like when you go to the doctor, they'll tell you what to do to prevent this. And a lot of times that's your job as a consultant or salesperson, is to guide someone in the right direction. They might think they only need this one side of their house, refinish or needs new wood, when really it's all rotted and it's all going to cause more problems if it doesn't get solved now.
100% painting that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Separate note, dude, completely. I noticed everyone from Ohio says that. Like
What?
they say, it needs painted instead of it needs to be painted.
Really?
Oh, it needs power wash. Everyone says that. You, Keegan, I have someone on my team who's from Ohio. I've noticed it. You guys say that all the time. It's like,
that's so funny.
You don't say to be. It's like, oh, it needs pressure washed. It needs painted instead of it needs to be painted. Have you noticed that from like other Ohio people?
Like, what about this
on
like
West thing?
I need dinner rather than saying I need to eat dinner?
No, I need dinner would work, but it's like it needs pressure wash. It would be like it needs to be pressure washed.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
It needs painted. It needs painted.
We just skip it. Painted. That's so funny.
It's interesting. I don't know. I wonder if it's like a Midwest thing, because a manager of my company says the same thing.
We'll have to ask Claude.
Dude, it's a thing, bro. Because I'd be like talking to random people from Ohio, and everyone like talks. I don't know.
That's so
Claude
funny.
might know.
That's funny.
Anyways, no, it's good. I want to talk about. So what's the biggest gap you see though? Like in search, click, grow. Talk about like what it's doing for contractors. My thumbnail on this YouTube is don't waste money on ads. I think you help them do that. Yeah,
I mean, so of course people have to pay us to do marketing. But we don't look at it as spending money. We look at it as an investment. Mm-hmm. And I guess the biggest thing is there's a lot of great contractors out here. And there's a lot of people that are great at the trade, but no one knows who they are. So it doesn't matter. So when someone comes to us now, we won't just take on any client. Like if you come to us, say, I got a lawnmower and I started a landscape business yesterday, I'm going to be like, look, bro, like I'll give you some tips and tricks, but you need to be at XYZ revenue before we even consider bringing anyone on. Like we need some form of, track record. And we look into a few things too, because if not, you're just going to have a bunch of headache clients. So it's really just about being seen. And of course, nowadays it's online a lot, but we also do professional branding. So we take someone's website and we completely rebuild it to where it optimizes correctly with Google. Sure, people are going to think you can use AI to do that, but their AI website will never be found by anyone. If someone types in painter near me, they're not going to optimize. You can use it to build. You can use it to as like a tool. like a hammer to build a house, but you can't live in
Yep.
a hammer. You know what I mean? So it's just another
Yeah.
tool at the end of the day. But when a lot of guys come to us, they're either struggling with Google ads, Facebook ads, not being seen. A lot of people have been burnt by other marketers too. That's like kind of what you guys hear in wholesale a lot. Like all this, I've been, 3 people told me they're going to buy it and no one ever ended up buying it. Now that's like something else you got to overcome.
Yeah.
So that's something I face sometimes, but we have a good name in the industry and we don't run ads for anything besides our coaching program. We don't run ads for agency stuff. Everything's organic. So like all of our leads come to us organically through social media or referrals or other people in the business. And that's why I've been focused on personal brands so much this year. In a big game of attracting rather than chasing. And that's another thing we teach contractors, So for instance, the company I was for, we did their branding and everything that the company I'm at now, or their website. And so when people would like see our brand, lower end clients or like in cheaper homes and stuff, they would know to not even call us because they're like, I can't afford that company, like just by seeing the branding and the representation online and everything. They would maybe think, oh, maybe I need to go like the handyman route. Like it's just a little bit different. Or I don't know if you've ever been driving and like you're getting off an exit or something and you see a sign, there's a white picket sign that says painting interior exterior with a phone number.
Yeah.
Do you think the person in the mansion on the beach is calling that person? Probably not. Probably not, never. So kind of like what I'm trying to do, the way I want to get clients is the same thing we teach our clients. Like, of course we run ads and we do stuff, but you still have to be attractive enough to where people want to call you. Because we're selling something that no one can see yet until it's done. Yeah. So the upfront presentation is so big. Like if I were to say this funny joke, but like this pen, you could touch and feel this pen and look at it. I could even write something real quick to see if you like it. People have no clue what this paint job, like they have an idea of the color they want, but like I can't let them physically touch it till it's done. So that's why the upfront presentation is so big, and being having a good reputation online is because it's not like, of course, like say their neighbor's house got painted by you and then they call you, they're like, I see you guys do good work. Like that's a little different. That's like in the 1%. We don't really focus on that. We think it's very important to have a good reputation up front, a good brand online, and a good profile that Google trusts to put you at the top. When someone types in painter near me, our guys pop up at the top. So that's mainly what we do. But, we have to adjust a lot of things at first when someone first comes to us. Like if their website sucks, we have to rebuild their website. So that way it actually optimizes. And then depending on their systems they have in place. That's why we have our coaching program. You can't come to me, owner operator, and tell me you want this many more leads now, because I would be like, okay, who's going to answer the phone? You're the only one to answer the phone? No, you need an admin. Like 90% of our clients, 95%, they have an admin. Like it's a one-off situation where maybe someone doesn't, but we're not going to give you Google leads when you don't have anyone to answer the phone for when they call.
Yeah.
Because then Google's going to start dropping you, and then who are you going to complain to? Us. So we make
it's a nice ecosystem of stuff, because you have the SEO, drive traffic, that's credibility because you're popping up. You have a good brand to capture that traffic, and then you are helping them with the mindset to be able to convert the leads better. That's a big thing, right? Because you have all these contractors coming to you and like, oh, I can't get sales, this and that. It's you're giving them the leads, but you also want them to do well with those leads. You understand that it was a mindset and a sales problem. So now you're providing that. So it's really like an ecosystem for a contractor to be able to come and just blow up their business.
That's why we named it like the Contractor Acquisition Bootcamp. That's our program because like you can acquire the client. That's one thing, but then like what's after that? And it's funny. Last week on our coaching call, what we talked about was appointment setting. People overlook this position a lot. They'll just hire any VA or any person in their town to sit there, answer phones, and book appointments. So we had someone come to us last week, one of our clients, like, hey, our leads are down. Our leads are down. So you guys are doing something wrong. You guys at marketing are doing something wrong. We're like, okay, let us look. We peel back. And of course, we make mistakes. So we look at that first. This guy's been honest for a while. So we know we're not making any mistakes. Everything's perfect. And we're like, what is the next factor here? We give all of our clients call rail so we can listen to every single call. We started listening to the calls that came in. Their appointment setter dropped the ball on probably 25 good leads that would have been great deals, because they don't treat that position like a sales position when it 100% is a sales position. You are still selling them to book the appointment with you. They might have 10 other contractors about to call after you. How are you going to stand out and be different? Like, that is so big. And so now I built a whole new call script for this company and everything. And like, they're changing that. But man, I mean, you're talking $50,000 to $200,000 worth of work just by answering the phone wrong for 1 week straight. It's so important. It's so big. And
you guys have that ability to get in there and help diagnose that.
Yeah.
I don't think you have an ad agency who doesn't know anything about business or sales or the industry you're in. They can't really give you that insight. But when someone knows the industry, they can come in and help you and give you that additional insight, which I think is huge.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to do a whole video on like how important that role is. Door knockers take it a little bit more serious, but it's same with a door knocker. You know, they need to know sales. You can't, I know it's an entry-level sales position a lot, but you still have to know some stuff. Like, you cannot just go through the motions and, you know, say your first door you knock and the client answers, yeah, we do need something done, but my husband's not home, so I can't make a decision right now. All right, we'll see ya. Like, no, you don't stop there. Like, you don't stop at one objection. Like, that's someone who just said they wanted work done. And like, but now you're going to walk away because they said their husband's not going to be home till later. That happens so much on the phones too. And like, you got to be a trained salesperson to overcome that, to then book.
Fundamental skills are the same. Fundamental skills of, because even in appointment setting, I think you have to have a process. Like, you have a little process to get someone from A to Z, right?
Yeah.
On setting that appointment. And your tone matters. How confident do you sound? Your ability to handle objections, your ability to guide them, your instilling confidence in them, all of those things. Now, you're not, you're just doing part one of maybe 6 parts as the appointment setter, whatever it is, but you better be doing it as good in part 1 as they're doing it in parts 2 through 6.
100%. And all these things and trainings and, things we dive into and analyze and do are just to help people grow. And then it helps us retain all of our clients. Like, if I'm giving you leads, but I'm also teaching you how to close those leads, why would you go to any other agency? Like,
you wouldn't. Ecosystem.
You wouldn't. Yep. And it's, I don't know. It's much more than that too. Like, I give people my personal cell. If they can call me and I can answer, I'll take it. I don't want to be used for my time, but I also don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I'm going to send you my calendar and I don't have an opening till 2 weeks out. Like, the problem might disappear by then, or they might forget about it and sweep it under the rug. And then it comes up again in 6 months. So, I jump on I leave time blocks in my day. It goes back to scheduling. Like, I time block, and then I have a few, buffer hours throughout the day for random calls, or if someone wants to jump on and, do something quick. So, but yeah, that's our main focus is, not only providing the leads, but teaching people how to actually close those leads too. We've literally changed some people's lives completely. Like, I have a guy, Dylan, that came to us 9 years in business, still was painting every day, running everything on spreadsheets. Man, this dude's he looks like he's going golfing every day now. He's wearing a polo. He's buttoned up. He don't have paint on him nowhere. He's got a system. He could present on spot. So now he's spending 5 extra hours with his daughters every day. Like, he used to go around all day, work, and go to houses, and then come home and build out the bids to send over. No. I got him building bids on spot now, presenting, closing on spot, collecting money on spot, and then going to hang out with his family after. Like, it's just it's such a game changer. And you wouldn't believe how many contractors still operate that way or are stuck in their way. Oh, referrals worked for me for 30 years. Like, dude, this isn't the economy anymore, or we're not in the world anymore. You can go knock on your neighbor's door and ask for eggs. They're gonna be like, these eggs are $9 a dozen. You're not getting one of them. Like, it's just a different world now. And I think that goes a lot with contractors. Contractors used to just get the job because people knew them. It just doesn't matter now. Like I mean, there's people coming into markets of guys that have owned a painting company in Tampa for 20 years. There's some new guys coming in 2 years older that understand sales and marketing that are doing 3x what I've done in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just not the same anymore. And I think people have to accept it, have to adapt. Same with AI. I think you have to adapt or just get left behind, I guess, or always be kind of behind in general.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's because before, like now, it's like a marketing and sales industry. You know, like you need to have a marketing sales department, or you're going to get crushed by people who are doing that.
Yep, we tell them all, hey, you're just a marketing company that happens to paint.
Yep,
that's all it
really
is.
Has to be the mindset. Has to be it. Cool, man. Well, appreciate you coming on. Any last thoughts here? Leaving our people with a little bit of Sunday inspiration here. This is a little YouTube church here.
I think everyone is in sales, whether they believe it or not. I think you're always selling. It's whether you have a wife, you got kids, like you always got to like, I think understanding that, but not, the screaming closing, like that's not sales anymore. I think understanding like the Chris Voss way, Jeremy Minor, or who did you mention earlier? Who's really good as well?
Sandler.
Like those are the methods that work nowadays. And I think that's what people have to figure out is how to detach from the outcome and just do it. Like, dude, I go hard all day. I know, and like we've talked about this in the past. Like, I'm changing some people's lives, and they're seeing the results. Like, like say financially, dude, I'm not going to see some of this stuff for a year or two. Like, and it's but like I don't care. Like, I just don't. There's not a care in my body. Like, I have a roof, I got food, I got everything. I got my gym, I got my car. Like I check those 5 boxes every day. Spend time with girlfriend, take care of dogs, go to the gym, eat my food, do my job. And
it's great. I like that. Simplify
it and just know that you are in sales, even if you don't want to be, and mastering it. I guess mastering the art of communication is the best way to live. Like, I mean, you travel to countries a lot. You could be in a whole different language, and like, as long as you're friendly, know how to deliver something, they can somewhat still understand you. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's just communication though. So yeah, that's what I'd leave people with. Master that. I'm not a master. I'm a student. That's what I always consider myself. Just a student of systems, a student of sales, student of the mind.
Student of the game, baby.
Yep.
We're on that 10,000 hour grind right now.
Well, great, Jake. I appreciate you having me on. I love what you're doing with the content. It's definitely pushed me to start doing mine more too. So great stuff.
Bang, baby. All right, folks. We'll start getting these Rewired Lives coming up. I got another one coming up on Wednesday with a guy named Michael. Actually been in business for about 30 years. He's done a lot, but he's talking more about the internal work. Wednesday at, I think, 9 a.m. But until next time, folks, all the peace, all the power.
Take care.